Living in Raleigh is about way more than oak trees and college basketball, and I'm gonna show you why. 8 years ago, my wife and I moved here from Southern California sight unseen, so I know the challenges firsthand, and I know how to help you avoid them. In today's video, I'm breaking down my top 5 areas to live near downtown Raleigh that I toured with some of our clients. These are ones that most people overlook, but locals love. Stick around till the end and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. When I first started exploring neighborhoods around Raleigh's core, Longview Gardens caught my eye for one simple reason. It doesn't feel like it's trying too hard. Behind those tree-shaded streets and modest mid-century homes that I loved, there's a really sweet balance of character, location, and untapped potential. Longview Gardens is one of Raleigh's older planned subdivisions. It dates back to the 1930s and 40s when Raleigh was just beginning to expand beyond its early city limits. Many of the original homes were modest cottages or ranches, which some of them are still there, functional and built for community. Over time, the neighborhood has seen waves of renovation, infill construction, and creative upgrades that I saw and I definitely loved. What's cool is that many of the original character homes are still standing. Picture hardwood floors, original built-ins, deep overhang eaves, generous front porches with mature oaks overhead. Because it's not one of the flashy new subdivisions, Longview Gardens has retained a low-key charm that's rare so close to the city. You'll see a mix of classic bungalows, Cape Cod-style homes, and newer builds. Some homes are being remodeled or expanded. Others are grandfathered in, lovingly preserved by owners who value history. One of the biggest advantages of Longview Gardens is the proximity to Raleigh. You're a short drive or bike ride, which I saw a lot of those, for the bold, to downtown Raleigh, East Raleigh, and even quickly over to Cameron Village. You can also go to Oakwood or the hospitals on Hillsborough Street. Your commute to central destinations can be as short as 10 to 15 minutes, depending on traffic. You're also adjacent to the green corridors and smaller parks. Some homes back up to the greenway connectors or small trails. The mature tree cover gives a canopy feel many newer subdivisions can't replicate, and I loved. And here's a little bit of what I loved about Longview. It feels like a neighborhood you'd stumble upon while exploring Raleigh, not one you'd find by Googling hot new subdivisions. It's quiet but not remote. It's modest but with serious style opportunities. You'll see folks walking dogs, tending gardens, sipping coffee on front porches, which I saw a lot of. And then some neighbors have vintage vehicles, others are do-it-yourself renovators, tearing down old kitchens and making a bunch of changes. There's a pride in ownership which you could feel in this community. And because many of the homes predate car-centric mindset, the design naturally invites engagement within the street, sidewalks, front stoops, friendly waves. Living here doesn't mean giving up amenities. You're minutes from breweries, coffee houses, local restaurants, grocery stores, and boutique shopping centers. You're close to the Person Street corridor, which in recent years has seen vibrant redevelopment with eateries, bars, and awesome local art spaces. As of mid-2025, homes in Longview Gardens tend to vary widely because of that mix of original builds and renovated or new infill homes. Modest original homes, 12 to 1,600 square feet, that are structurally sound but in need of a little bit of TLC, might list for around $360,000 to $450,000. The fully renovated mid-century homes with modern upgrades often are going to run in the $500,000 to $650,000 range. Infill or newly built homes can push numbers north of $700,000, particularly if they're large. They feature high-end finishes and maximize the lot use. Because many lots are modest but deep, creative builders sometimes build these skinny little houses or multi-story homes tucked between existing houses. That's one of the new trends I was seeing all over the place when I took these clients. A lot of these homes honor setbacks, but they maximize the vertical space. Here's some of the pros. Incredible location with quick access to downtown, hospitals, and growing corridors. Rich architectural character and mature tree cover you won't get in cookie-cutter newer neighborhoods. Lower entry pricing relative to some newer, trendier areas, and the ability to remodel or build incrementally. You don't have to get perfect all at once. There's also a strong sense of community that we could feel among the residents who value the unique fabric. Now, for some of the cons, but there wasn't very many. It's older and some of the homes definitely will require updates. You could have to change the plumbing, electrical, insulation, or drainage issues. There also could be some architectural mismatch or tension between preservation and modernization. Smaller lot constraints compared to sprawling newer subdivisions can be a challenge. Street parking or driveway constraints depending on your layout of your house. You're gonna have occasional noise or inconvenience during adjacent redevelopment, but imagine walking home under a canopy of oaks, stepping onto your porch with a cup of coffee and knowing you're only 10 minutes from downtown, but living in a home with stories to tell everyone. Would you restore a mid-century gem, adding your own chapter to its history? These houses are beautiful. Or would you rather go for a brand new build that gives you everything from the ground up? If Raleigh has a neighborhood that perfectly blends quirky charm with can't-be convenience, it's 5 Points. This area, named for the intersection where 5 roads converge, has been part of Raleigh's DNA for over a century. But don't mistake its age for being stuck in the past. 5 Points has grown into one of the most eclectic, vibrant corners of the city. 5 Points actually dates back to the early 20th century when Raleigh was expanding westward. Many of the new homes are bungalows, Cape Cods, and cottages from the 1920s to the 1950s, and you definitely want to see them. You'll also find some larger, stately homes mixed in, plus your newer construction homes that reflects Raleigh's growth. It's one of those neighborhoods where walking down the street feels like flipping through a living scrapbook. Every house has personality, from bright pastel paint jobs to restored craftsman details. The area grew up alongside streetcar lines, and you can still sense that walkable, community-driven design today. Unlike the sprawling suburbs, 5 Points encourages front porch conversations, strolls to local shops, and impromptu let's grab a drink evenings. 5 Points sits just a mile or two north of downtown Raleigh, meaning you're minutes away from the Warehouse District, which I love, Glenwood South, which is awesome, and business centers. It's a straight shot down Glenwood Avenue to get downtown, or a quick drive to North Hills, Cameron Village, or the I-440 for professionals. Commutes are among the easiest you'll find. This is one of Raleigh's most walkable neighborhoods, and that lifestyle is a major draw to many people. Residents often gather at Moose River Brewing and Brasserie for Belgian beers and upscale bites, or catch a show at the historic, awesome 5 Points Theater, which dates back to the 1940s. There's also a strong coffee culture, vintage shopping, and access to local art, which you'll love. The neighborhood thrives on a balance of family-friendly and young professional energy. You'll see, and we definitely did, saw strollers, bicycles, alongside craft beer tastings and food truck nights. Annual events and festivals keep the community lively, and the location makes it easy to join bigger events downtown without committing to city center living. As of 2025, the housing market here reflects both charm and premium pricing. Some of the smaller cottages and bungalows from 12 to 1,600 square feet typically list from $475,000 to $575,000. Some of the renovated craftsman homes and larger mid-century properties range from $650,000 to $850,000. And the new construction or luxury rebuilds can command $900,000 plus, especially if the square footage tops $3,000 and finishes are upscale. The diversity is wide, and you'll definitely see it. you'll see a fixer-upper next to $1 million custom home. That blend keeps 5 Points unique but also competitive. Let's talk about the pros. Super close to downtown, North Hills and the I-440. Walkable vibe with breweries, shops, theater, and community events all over the place. Eclectic housing with lots of character, which we love. Strong neighborhood associations and community spirit, which you could feel just driving down the street. And here are some of the cons. Higher price point compared to other older Raleigh neighborhoods. Parking, could be a little bit of a headache down there, especially near popular intersections. There's some streets with some heavy traffic due to the convergence of the 5 roads. Newer homes sometimes clash with the historic charm. Would you trade extra square footage in the suburbs for a front porch within walking distance of a brewery, a vintage theater, and some of Raleigh's most eclectic dining? Well, that's 5 Points. And for many, the answer is a resounding yes, sir. If history is your thing, Raleigh's Mordecai neighborhood is where the past meets the present. It's one of the oldest and most storied communities in the city, and I definitely love Mordecai. And thanks to Raleigh's ongoing growth, it's also one of the most dynamic. Mordecai dates back to the early 1800s, anchored by Mordecai Historic Park. This park is home to the Mordecai House, the oldest house in Raleigh, still on its original foundation. Fun fact, it's also the birthplace of President Andrew Johnson, and that's also preserved here as well. The neighborhood grew outward from that historic core, with 19th and early 20th century homes shaping its streetscape. Today, Mordecai blends those historic gems with newer construction and modern townhomes, which you'll love. It's the kind of neighborhood where one street feels like old Raleigh, while the next feels fresh and contemporary, which was very cool. Mordecai is located just north of downtown Raleigh. It's literally a 5-minute drive or a walkable commute for those who work downtown. It borders the Person Street corridor, one of Raleigh's hippest strips for restaurants, bars, and boutique shopping that you'll love. You'll also get quick access to Seaboard Station, which we have some amazing drone on that. It has the Capitol District, Moore Square, and just so much character. Living in Mordecai is like having the best of both worlds, history and modern convenience. Residents spend weekends at the Mordecai Historic Park farmers markets, dining at Crawford & Sons, ooh yeah, grabbing coffee at Yellow Dog Bread Company, or enjoying a cocktail at William & Company. There's a strong preservationist streak here in this neighborhood. The historic homes and the cultural footprint of the area is amazing. At the same time, new construction has brought in young professionals and families eager to live near downtown Raleigh. The mix of residents gives Mordecai a vibrant, forward-thinking, yet rooted community feel. Smaller historic homes and cottages, 12 to 1,800 square feet, will be $525,000 to $650,000. The larger preserved homes with multiple bedrooms and extensive updates can run $750,000 to $950,000. The newer construction and the modern townhomes easily will exceed $1 million, especially if they're over 3,000 square foot or within walking distance to Person Street. Demand is consistently high and inventory is often limited due to the neighborhood's size and historic protections. Let's talk about some of the pros. Has rich history with preserved landmarks and cultural pride, which is amazing. Walkable to downtown, Person Street, and Seaboard Station, which you'll love. Strong community engagement and neighborhood associations. It has a mix of old and new homes to suit different lifestyles. Now the cons, even though honestly, there's not many. Yes, it definitely has a higher price tag, but it's super close to downtown Raleigh. Sometimes there's a little bit of tension over the new construction developments and the preservation balance. Limited yard space with many smaller urban lots. And then of course, ongoing traffic and parking challenges as density grows. But honestly, would you pay a premium to live in a neighborhood where every street corner tells you a story? Where your house isn't just a home, but part of Raleigh's living history? That's the Mordecai trade-off. And for many, it's priceless, and I loved it. Few places in Raleigh carry the cultural weight of Oberlin Village. This historic community, established by freedmen in the 1860s, after the Civil War is one of the last surviving Reconstruction era freedmen villages in the United States. It's not just a neighborhood, it's a story of resilience, heritage, and transformation. Founded by freedmen like James E. Harris and Willis Graves, Oberlin Village quickly grew into a thriving African American community. It had churches, schools, businesses, and homes, all built by and for its residents. Over the years, much of Oberlin has been redeveloped, but important landmarks remain. The Oberlin Cemetery, the Wilson Temple United Methodist Church, and the restored Lotta University site is still there. Today, Oberlin Village is a blend of historic homes, modern townhomes, and high-end infill new developments. It's minutes from NC State or the Village District, which is formerly Cameron Village, in downtown Raleigh. Oberlin's central location is one of its biggest perks. You're walkable or bikeable to the Village District Shopping Center, and you're only a few minutes from downtown and close to Wade Avenue for easy access to the I-40 and the I-440. For professionals or students, it's hard to beat the convenience. Oberlin Village is more than a place to live. It's a community with a story to preserve. Residents take pride in the area's legacy, and community organizations have worked hard to maintain their cultural landmarks amid Raleigh's rapid growth. On a lifestyle level, you're in one of the most connected parts of Raleigh. You have shops, dining, and cultural amenities are at your fingertips. You can enjoy brunch at the Village District, visit nearby art galleries, or spend an afternoon walking through historic cemeteries that remind you of the deeper roots of the neighborhood. And as of 2025, the housing market here reflects both the demand and the premium of the location. Historic cottages and smaller preserved homes may start in the $500,000 to $650,000 range. The larger renovated homes and upscale townhomes easily will run from $750,000 to $950,000. And the newer homes can exceed $1.2 million, particularly on the larger lots or near prime walkable streets. Because space is limited and demand is high, competition is fierce in this neighborhood. Many homes sell super quick, often above asking. I could go on and on with the pros, but here's a few. Deep historic and cultural significance, central location near the Village District, NC State, and downtown, mix of old and new housing with high walkability, and strong community preservation efforts that everyone loves. Here's the con. Again, there's not very many. Rising costs because of the pricing of some of the longtime residents that have held out and have some nice places to sell. Limited inventory due to small neighborhood size, and the redevelopment pressure can feel like a threat to history. Parking and traffic are challenging during peak times. But do you think a city should slow its growth to protect historic communities? I kinda do. Or is there a way to find a balance of both? Oberlin Village forces you to ask that question. And if you live here, you're part of the answer. Known as Midtown Raleigh, North Hills, is the definition of live, work, and play convenience. While many neighborhoods boast about walkability, few deliver like this one. Imagine being able to grab dinner, hit a concert, and walk back to your condo without ever having to start your car. That's North Hills. And North Hills began as one of Raleigh's first suburban malls in the 1960s. Over the years, it's transformed into a modern mixed-use district that's amazing. Today, it's a hub of high-end shopping, dining, entertainment, office space, and residential living to die for. It's Raleigh's closest equivalent to a mini city within a city. Just off the I-440, North Hills is minutes from downtown Raleigh, Glenwood South, and Midtown East. It's a direct commute to the RTP and the RDU airport, making it ideal for professionals. For those working in Raleigh's growing tech and finance sectors, North Hills is a strategic home base. This is where Raleigh feels metropolitan. Rooftop bars like Level 7 overlook the skyline, while Midtown Park hosts outdoor concerts and festivals that you'll love. They have gyms, yoga studios, and high-end grocers, and dozens of restaurants all in one place. For professionals and empty nesters or families just wanting a blend of suburban and urban, it's a lifestyle upgrade. The vibe is upscale but accessible. You'll see young professionals grabbing drinks after work, families enjoying movie nights, and retirees downsizing into the luxury condos. The mix creates an energetic but safe community. Condos and townhomes start around $450,000 to $600,000. The larger luxury condos and new townhomes range from $650,000 to $850,000. And the detached single-family homes in the surrounding Midtown neighborhoods can range from $700,000 to over $1.2 million, especially with recent renovations and on larger lots. Luxury apartments also abound with rents from $1,800 to $3,500 plus per month. I love so many of these neighborhoods, and North Hills is just another one. So here are just some of the pros. True walkability with everything at your doorstep. Upscale dining, shopping, entertainment, and awesome events. There's a strong demand and property values are holding steady. It's a great neighborhood for professionals, empty nesters, or anyone craving urban-suburban balances. Here's the cons, but you're not gonna see too many. Premium pricing, which I think a lot of people kind of expect. Traffic congestion during peak times and events, and it can feel more commercial than residential to some buyers. It's definitely gonna have less historic charm compared to the other neighborhoods that we talked about, like 5 Points or Mordecai. But would you rather be in the middle of the action with nightlife, shopping, and concerts outside your door, or escape to a quieter neighborhood and drive in? That's the North Hills question, and the answer depends on your lifestyle. So there you have it, 5 incredible areas near downtown Raleigh that some people overlook when they first start researching. From the mid-century charm of Longview Gardens, to the eclectic personality of 5 Points, to the deep history of Mordecai and Oberlin Village, to the upscale energy of North Hills. There's a piece of Raleigh for every lifestyle. The key thing I've learned since moving here from California 8 years ago, sight unseen, is that Raleigh is a city of hidden layers. On the surface, people know about downtown and the universities, but once you scratch deeper, these neighborhoods tell the real story. One of history, growth, and community that keeps people moving here year after year. So which one caught your eye the most? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If these cities started to sing to you and you wanted to get in touch, please feel to call, text, or email with the information right here. If not, and you're still checking things out, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss our next breakdown of Raleigh's best kept secrets. You can also visit our sister channel at Life in Raleigh NC. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.